welcome to the final day of the Australian Rowing Championships, held here at Champion Lakes. The competition is ending at 10 to 12 with the biggest race of the year, known as the King's Cup. I'm your host, Roxy Wykes.
We've got all the top rowers from all around Australia been competing, and we've had some wonderful competition, particularly from our senior athletes who've made the effort to come to Western Australia, even though the final selection for the Olympic teams. Great encouraging thing is the under 23, under 19, under 17 racing. We've got a lot of young people coming through, because this being an Olympic year, I'd say we'd have a lot of people fall out after this year. So it was very encouraging to see so many of our young people here competing at the National Championships.
Keep yourself well hydrated in these hot conditions, 31 almost and 37% humidity, and that's the key. The humidity's been keeping down to a very manageable level, and we've been able to get through our racing safely. Of course, the safety of the competitors is the paramount importance.
I just hope they don't come last, which I think they are.
And we've been keeping well in line with Rowing Australia's heat policy. Title holders Loreto. I'm not sure if it's the same Loreto as Loreto Toorak or...
They're really good.
There's Loreto Toorak, because there are Loreto colleges all over Australia, but Loreto Toorak clear in this Schoolgirl Cox Quad Scull Championship of Australia A final. Terrific race for second, but at the moment Sacred Heart College Geelong is in second place, and the leaders Loreto Toorak they've got some clear water over Sacred Heart College. Then in the third place is anybody's guess. Maybe Perth College have pushed through nicely, and on this side Radford College also in the mix. Radford College also in the final of the schoolboy Cox Quad Scull, where they come out of lane 2. Canberra School that it is. So it is the crew from Loreto Toorak holding the lead comfortably.
Go Loreto!
Crew from Perth College.
Go Martin!
College coached by Leslie.
Go Loreto!
And Rob Whitworth, then back to Newcastle Grammar and Wrighton Girls School. I reckon Newcastle are now 6th, Wrighton probably 5th. Inside the last 30 strokes is the crew from Loreto Toorak, hanging on to that lead they established in the first half of the race and rowing beautifully in the Cox Quad Scull Championship of Australia. Victorian ahead of the schoolgirls next weekend at Geelong, and this crew will be hard to beat as Loreto Toorak goes to the line to win the Australian Championships. Sacred Heart College Geelong in second place. Third then will be Perth College. Fourth, anybody's guess, lanes 1, 2 and 6 absolutely locked together. Anybody, not coming. I reckon lane 2 has run 6th. That's all I'm prepared to say. So have no idea down the page, but certainly first Loreto Toorak, second Sacred Heart College, third Perth College, winning time 7 minutes 32 flat. The margin's 4.29.
There are 4 Kiwis at this regatta. New Zealand and Australia in the officialdom world have an exchange program. So each year 2 Australian umpires come to our national championships, which were 2 weeks ago, and 2 New Zealand umpires come to the national champs in Australia. And my wife and I have also come as add-ons to that, because we like coming to regattas and it's good fun. So we've been operating and running the weighing part of the Australian champs all the week. There will be some allowances for speakers and bits and pieces. So let's see what it weighs. Let's take out any water bottles and step away. The boat weighs 97.6. It's likely to have about an allowance of 1.2, which means it needs to weigh 97.2, and it weighs 97.6. It's good to go. The only thing that can trip you up now is if in there's a wet t-shirt or that's the sort of stuff. There you go.
And Pip Savage have gone through 1,500 metres, and Kim Crow has opened up an even bigger lead, 6:02.20 in front of Kerry Hoare and Pip Savage, then back to Amy Clay in 4th place, then follows Sarah Tate, and at the rear is Renee Chatterton, but Kim Crow looking to win her first Interstate Single Sculls Championship for the Nell Slatter Trophy. Kerry Hoare in second place, trying to peg her back and Pip Savage trying to pull back the lead that Kerry Hoare has over her. Then follows Amy Clay of New South Wales, and then follows Sarah Tate of Western Australia, and at the rear is Renee Chatterton of South Australia, but the Victorian's gone for home. She led by 5.2 through the 1500 metre mark. Kerry Hoare and Pip Savage, another great battle for second and third, as in the Single Scull Championship of Australia a day or two ago. But Kim Crow on the far side, she's doing a terrific job. She's a world silver medalist, world championship silver medalist in the double scull with Kerry Hoare, and Pip Savage is an Olympian in the single scull from 2008, so a high quality field. Amy Clay representing New South Wales, an Olympian also, and in 5th place is Sarah Tate, and she's been to 2 Olympic Games, so a high quality field in the Interstate Single Scull Championship of Australia with Kim Crow for Victoria. Look as though she's going to win it. She's over there in station 2. Tasmania in 2nd place, Queensland in 3rd, then follows New South Wales, Western Australia, and at the rear is South Australia. But the Victorian Kim Crow is going to lead from barrier to box in the Interstate Women's Single Scull Championship of Australia for the Nell Slater Trophy. Kim Crow for Victoria, with about 5 or 6 strokes to go, will win the Interstate Women's Single Scull Championship. She'll cross the line at the end of this next stroke. Victoria first, Tasmania second, Queensland third, 4th then New South Wales, 5th Western Australia, and 6th will be South Australia. Down the page, scratch 1, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, and no time available.
It's superb. It's a beautiful course. It is a world-class rowing course. And we've got 3 superb rowing courses, one in Sydney, one in Tasmania, and now we've got a world-class course here in Perth. And we could actually look at, in future years, looking to have an international world championship here and in Perth.
Do you think that the popularity of rowing is increasing in Australia?
Yes, definitely, especially at the school level and especially schoolgirls.
Many years ago now, I dragged Jeff Gallop down here when it was just a little old deciduous lake, and we got a commitment that if Labor was elected, that we would build this Champion Lake Centre, and took us another 4 years before we were elected. But as soon as we got cracking and extended the highway, and then used that opportunity at the same time to create the lake and build this whole facility. So it was something that we saw as absolutely critical for the rowing community, but also for the people of this area. It was a great opportunity to have a world-class facility in the Armidale region.
The 1,500 metres, it's still Jared Bidwell in the lead from David Crawshay from Victoria is really putting in a sprint now, and down on the inside station here, Chris Morgan, of course, is a long way from the scullers on the far side, really putting in some strong strokes in the red colours, the bright red colours of South Australia, really putting in a strong effort into 3rd position behind. But David Crawshay from Victoria drawing up alongside James Bidwell in the President's Cup, the time-honoured President's Cup for the men's Interstate Single Sculling Championship. Some great champions have won this event in the past, and one of them's here, Reg McKay, and Reg Free, I should say. And then he's gone out to the lead here. The early leader, James Bidwell, dropping back into 3rd position behind the South Australian sculler on this side of the course, Chris Morgan. And right over on the far side, it's Scott Brennan from Tasmania, now moving into 3rd position ahead of James Bidwell from Queensland. Then the West Australian Reece Grant, who was in the lead in the early stages, and the ACT sculler Nicholas Barnier battling it out for the minor placings of New South Wales. Back at the rear of the field is Sasha Balanagoff stepping up to the senior ranks here at the men's senior single scull for the Interstate Championship. But yesterday's winner in the National Championship here, David Crawshay, member of that magnificent gold medal double scull in Beijing, sitting out in the lead to add to his title yesterday here at the National Championships. David Crawshay from Victoria, out about half a length, 3/4 of a length. Chris Morgan coming home strongly again on lane 6 and throwing out a challenge over the concluding stages, but it's going to be David Crawshay to take out the President's Cup for 2012. Crossed the line first for Victoria, 3/4 of a length to Chris Morgan of South Australia. Third place, Tasmania, Scott Brennan. In fourth position, the early leader, Jared Bidwell from Queensland, who certainly gave plenty of cheek in the early stages. Nicholas Barnier then in fifth position, followed by Reece Grant in sixth place from Western Australia, and Sasha Balaganov from New South Wales in seventh position.
It's been a really good regatta for me, and this is a final or second last event, so really just finishing it off. I'm at PLC, I'm doing year 12. I'm doing year 11 and 12 over 3 years, so this is my final year of school.
Is that because of rowing?
Yeah, I made the junior world team when I was in year 11 and again last year. So it just came to the point where I'm doing 13 training sessions per week, and it gets a lot, especially doing 5 TE subjects. So it's just, for me, it's more manageable doing it over 3 years, and I've got a lot more time to evenly spread myself.
Queensland, Victoria pushing through. Western Australia there in second place still. Victoria coming home hard. Then back to Tasmania and South Australia at the rear, but the New South Wales crew look as though they've got it sewn up. Rachel Kiley, Georgia Meehan-Sarrow, Leah Saunders, Eleanor Winstanley, Jessie Allen, Georgie Gotch, Coco Bryant, Olivia Heath, Kate Whittaker, the coxswain, and the coaches Alfie Young and Christopher Holliday. And New South Wales on the far side are clear with 260 metres to go in the Interstate Women's Youth 8 for the Bicentenary Cup. New South Wales clear. Western Australia, then Queensland, Victoria, and a great race for 5th and 6th between Tasmania and the crew from South Australia for those last 2 placings. But New South Wales are clear in the Interstate Women's Youth 8 for the Bicentenary Cup. Queensland have won it for about 4 years in a row, and that run is going to come to an end here today as the crew from New South Wales clears out. Western Australia in second place, Queensland now under pressure from Victoria, and a great race for third between Victoria and Queensland, then back to South Australia and Tasmania at the rear, but New South Wales home and hosed in the Interstate Women's Youth 8 for the Bicentenary Cup. New South Wales in Station 1, behind their stroke there, Olivia Heath will go on and win the Interstate Women's Youth 8 for the Bicentenary Cup. It'll be New South Wales first, Western Australia second, still close for third. I reckon Victoria's going to get up for third. Victoria will be third on the line. Yes, Victoria third, Queensland fourth. Fifth then will be South Australia, and sixth will be Tasmania. Down the page, 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, 4.
We've rowed once a week, every week, and we've had two regattas, so raced twice.
And have you had any other experiences in any of the competition?
Just drop the hammer.
Drop the hammer, what's that mean?
For it.
Oh, awesome. And how are you finding the competition here?
Yeah, pretty tough, pretty stiff. We've had a good week, but yeah, it's been hard and we're all pretty tired. But yeah, been good.
WA was very good.
Oh, really? Yay!
Y'all ready for this?
From South Australia in third place, followed by Western Australia in the bright yellow colours on lane 1, and Queensland bringing up the rear on lane 5 nearest the judge. But down towards the 1,500 metre mark, and it's anybody's race between the Victorians and the New South Wales crew. New South Wales with the combination there, Nicholas Hudson, Sam Locke, Francis Hegarty, James Chapman, Nick Purnell, Matthew Ryan, Fergus Pragnell, Dan Noonan in the stroke seat, and Toby Lister the Cox. Very little change from last year. I think there was only one change. Nick Garrett and Tom Lawrence coaching that crew. The Victorians are William Lockwood, Sam Hookway, James Marburg, Cameron McKenzie-McCark, Joshua Booth, Tom Swan, Drew Ginn, our triple gold medalist in the Olympic Games, and Josh Dunkley-Smith in the stroke seat, coached by David Webster and coached by Mark Fenken Hall. And the two crews going together here, but New South Wales has snuck away into the lead, I would think, over the Victorian crew. They came through the 1,500 in 4:21.11. just over half a length to the Victorians. They really put in a strong third 500 metres, and it looks like the New South Wales crew are going to win 5 in a row here with less than 250 metres to go in the Kings Cup for the Men's Interstate 8-oar Championship over 2,000 metres. New South Wales really turning on the power now behind their stroke, Dan Noonan, lifting it up to about 38 strokes a minute in the shadows of the post. 150 metres to go, and the Victorians dropping right back now. They tried very hard to lead all the way, but the New South Wales crew far too strong over the concluding stages to take out the Men's Interstate 8-oar Championship for the Kings Cup for 2012. Driving down to the line now, it's New South Wales scoring a convincing win at the end by 3/4 to 1 length to Victoria in second place in a time of 5:49.23. 5:49.23. 2.56 seconds back to Victoria. Queensland coming through in third place. South Australia in third place, I should say, followed by the crew from Western Australia and Queensland. So a magnificent row there by New South Wales.
For the last 200 metres.
Third 500 metres. Saw the Western Australian crew coming through.
How sweet it is.
In fourth position, followed by Queensland in fifth place. So down the page, unofficially in 4:38, 4:13.25. Winning time by New South Wales. Congratulations to them. 5 in a row in 5:49.23, and the margin 2.56 back to Victoria. Certainly, Ray, a terrific race there, and New South Wales in that third 500 metres really sealed along, didn't they? And what they did a couple of years ago, really got away from the Vicks, and didn't give them a chance over the last 600 or 700 metres.
An absolutely scintillating performance from New South Wales from the 5th year in a row, and Dan Noonan wasn't a gold medalist in the quad scull. You'd almost try him in the stroke seat of the Australian 8 for the Olympic Games. What a great job he's done.
So how did you feel when you went through that finish line first?
Oh, it's amazing. So that's 5 in a row for us now. Pressure's been building up each year in New South Wales. That's the first time we've won 5 since about, I think, in the possibly the 1920s.
So you're on a roll.
Yeah, so most definitely. It's an amazing feeling. There's a really good community and positive passion in the group. And it's most definitely one of the exciting races of the year for me. Well, it's quite a prominent sport in New South Wales. I started at school in the school rowing system there.
Do you think the popularity of rowing is growing in Australia?
Oh, most definitely. I think especially as you come around to an Olympic year, being such a prominent Olympic sport for Australia, it definitely peaks up during the Olympic cycle.
And is that your aim to get into the Olympics?
Yeah, most definitely. I guess that's every rower's ultimate goal and dream, and then to win the gold medal.
We've got a good chance in the Olympics?
We're aiming for at least 6 medals out of we've qualified 10 entries at this stage. We may qualify another 1 and 2. If we got 6 medals, we'd be delighted, and 3 gold medals, a real big prospect with the quad scull for the men who won last year, the lightweight 4 who won the gold medal, and our women's pair, we're looking forward to them stepping up from the double scull from where they finished second in New Zealand 2 years ago and Slovenia last year. We're hoping that they'll step up to win the gold medal. But even so, we'll be one of the most successful sports at the Olympics for Australia, because it's pretty tough competition when you're up against the rest of the world.
It was a fantastic thing for Western Australia to have this event held for the first time in 17 years in Western Australia. The last time was on the Wellington Dam at Collie, and I understand the conditions weren't the best there. This is world-class venue. Everyone from interstate who's been here has commented to me what a great venue it is. So good enough for world rowing champions. So I thought it was a marvellous event. Great credit to WA Rowing.
And this is now the end of the 7-day Australian Championships held here at Champion Lakes. It has been an exciting and eventful competition, and I enjoyed presenting it. I'm Roxy Wikes reporting from Perth City Talks.
Nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time because he writes every note and he writes every line. And I've seen him at work when that light goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those other fellas he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous without even trying. How do they do this? It's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will.